Hey Taurus Collective, welcome to your love reading for whenever you are meant to find it. I hope you guys are doing great. We are going to do two spreads today, one for my super single Tauruses and the other ones for the not so single ones. If you have somebody on your mind, if you're casually dating, if you're involved, that reading is going to be for you. But let's jump in for our super singles and see what energy is surrounding you for your reading. We have the Garden and we have the Sun to start off with. Let's pull another oracle card, see what other energies are around you. We have Shy, Nervous, or Too Nervous to ask you out. It takes a minute. The answer is maybe and second guess. And let's pull one last card for you. Check your overall energy for my single Taurus collective. And we have You Are Good Enough, full moon in Virgo. So to start off with Taurus, it seems like there is an opportunity coming towards you, whether you currently believe it or not. With the Garden and the Sun, these are two extraordinarily happy cards, right? The Sun is all about being bright, it's light, it's wonderful, it's joy. And the Garden is something that's lush and something that can be nurtured. There's a lot of growth right there. But these two cards that we have over here, it feels as though either you or this other person that's coming in, because it does feel like there's someone coming in for you, is a little bit nervous, right? And there might be a little bit of a self-esteem issue in there, that there might be a little bit of self-doubt on whether or not you or they should pursue this, whether or not you are deserving of all of this goodness that we see in this forecast for you. So it feels like even though there are some good things on the horizon, that there are good things that are possible for you when it comes to a relationship, there's an element of nervousness. So there's a little bit of hesitation that I'm feeling right now in this reading for you. But it feels like it's a little bit unwarranted. So maybe this is some baggage from a previous relationship that didn't work out, or just some things that have you or this other person in a little bit of a place of doubt on whether or not this type of happy relationship is something that you can actually get. So let's dive into some tarot and first take a peek at where you are, Taurus, in terms of your relationship journey. And what we have coming out first is the Page of Earth in reverse. So this is the Page of Pentacles in traditional tarot. It doesn't feel like there are any offers on the horizon, right? So not even at this point, it doesn't even feel like there's a glimmer of hope that's associated with your dating life. Like things have been a little bit stagnant, things have been a little bit dry, a little bit quiet for you. So it feels like you're just kind of chilling, you're kind of floating along. It's something that you think about from time to time, but you don't necessarily put a whole lot of energy into it. And you haven't necessarily seen, any results, coming into your romantic life. Your biggest challenge right now, though, Taurus, we have the Page of Water. So this is the Page of Cups in traditional tarot. And so it almost feels as though your biggest challenge is sort of opening yourself up and showing any sort of interest or affection to other people, right? There's this cup of love that you have that you may want to give, of course, to the right person, but you haven't given it yet. And you haven't seen that cup of love being given towards you either. So that feels like your biggest challenge, is that there right now in all of your singlehood, there's a lack of love. So let's check out what it is that you need to accept or embrace right now on your journey towards love. The one that came out is the King of Fire. So this is the King of Wands in traditional tarot. This is passion. This is excitement. This has sort of an element of boldness, right? So it feels like if you want to move forward to this happy place, you're going to have to sort of get out of this energy of holding yourself back or having any sort of doubts that you are deserving of this type of love. So it might be that you're going to have to take the first step. And by taking the first step, it doesn't mean that you just like go out balls to the wall, reckless, like throwing a leg up, like, hey, here I am. But it's more like sort of getting out there, taking chances to meet new people, putting yourself in different environments, maybe stepping out of your comfort zone and getting to know folks who aren't, quote, your usual type. But this is you sort of embracing excitement and not necessarily looking at the prospect of love or a relationship as something that is just work, right? But something that's interesting, that's fun, that will allow you to experience new things, new people, all of that. Now, what you need to release, we have the Eight of Earth in reverse. We have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So again, right, going along with what you need to embrace, this excitement, this joy, this kind of openness, what you have to release is the thought that love is just going to be like a nonstop grind. Like it's just going to be effort upon effort upon effort. And of course, it's always going to be a little bit of work, when it comes to love, but I don't think to the extent that maybe you've gotten in the place of viewing it. There's nothing that you need to, sort of grind yourself into the ground to achieve. And it almost feels as though that sort of mindset is what's holding you back. That it's like, well, if I put all of this effort into it, if I put all of this work into it, what if it doesn't work out? Does that mean that I'm not good enough? And that's not the case. It just means that perhaps that person wasn't the right fit. Like there's this quote that I absolutely love that says, you'll never be enough for the wrong person. And so I feel like maybe now, Taurus, it's your time to expand yourself beyond the type of person that you've dealt with, because when you find the right person, it's going to be effortless. So it's time to let go of the notion that love has to be a struggle. It's something that you should absolutely start to enjoy, and it won't feel like so much work. Now, your best approach forward, we have the Seven of Fire or the Seven of Wands in reverse. And so the Seven of Wands is a very defensive energy, right? This is someone who is ready to fight. This is someone who has their guard up, who is, sort of in that place where they're expecting the worst. They're expecting the struggle. And so I feel like with this card in reverse, Spirit is saying that the best way for you to start moving forward, if you're looking for a relationship, is to stop, is to let your guard down a little bit. And see, we had this shy card in your overall energy, and we also have you were good enough. So Spirit is saying, let down your walls a little bit and embrace this passion, embrace this fire, embrace this energy, because you are good enough. And if you are able to open up and show your true self, then that's going to draw in the energy of the person who is actually right for you. It's going to draw in the sun and the garden for you. But you have to be open. You absolutely have to be open. So looking at your potential future outcome, oh, look, we have the 10 of Earth or the 10 of Pentacles in traditional tarot. This is stability. This is fulfillment. This is abundance when it comes to relationship. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Water in reverse or the Five of Cups in reverse. This is no regret. This is not a loss. This is not crying over spilled milk. This is not going to be disappointment for you. You are going to have that stability and abundance that you've been looking for. So Taurus, it feels like it's time to step out of your comfort zone a little bit. It's time to step out of your shell so you can invite this happiness in. And let's pull one last oracle card for you. See what final message Spirit says. And what we have for you is Rings of Time. So this card to me is almost a card of revisiting history and sort of taking into account kind of like the rings of the tree that you can look at and tell how old they are. You can see where they've, not had enough sun or not had enough water or not had enough food. This to me feels like spirit saying, take inventory of where you've been, what you've experienced, and what it is that you want to do differently. This is acknowledging what you've been through, but not letting that sort of be the defining, your sort of defining history, right? Because there's always going to be growth. There's always going to be opportunities to add new rings to this tree. So this is all about growth. Looking back and taking inventory of what has been, but focusing on what it is that you want. And over time, embracing that growth, embracing that shift in yourself. So I think, Taurus, that you've learned your lessons when it comes to love. And maybe it's made you a little bit nervous to move forward and give it another try. But if you do, if you step out of your comfort zone and sort of frame your thoughts about love differently and open yourself up to new possibilities, then there's something wonderful. There's something good and stable coming towards you. So I'm going to leave it there for you, and we're going to jump over to the Not So Single Taurus reading and see what's going on with you guys. All right, my Not So Single Taurus collective, for those of you who are thinking about someone, casually dating someone, in a committed relationship, this reading may be for you. So looking at the overall energy, first card that we have out is Unguard. Competing for someone, at an impasse, guarded, needs space, takes time, and skilled interaction. Let's see what else we have going on for my Not So Single Taurus collective. And the second card out we have is Full Moon in Sagittarius. Look at the bigger picture. And one more to see what your energy is. And we have the Stork. Okay. Oi. So it feels like whatever you're involved in right now there's a little bit of an element of conflict that's happening right now, where if you are dealing with someone in any way, shape, or form, there might have been a hiccup, I feel like, that has happened within this relationship that has somebody's guard up a little bit, where you may feel like there's something going on, that there's some element of you not knowing exactly what's going on. It's almost as if things have been flowing along pretty nicely, and then this person or you may have made a little bit of a misstep that has created some level of doubt in this relationship. And what it feels like right now, you're not seeing everything. There are some pieces that are missing for you, but it feels as though there's going to be some sort of message that comes through, some sort of clarification that will shine light on this and allow you to actually see things for what they are. So jumping into some tarot, we are going to take a peek at the connection between the two of you. Okay, and we have two cards that flipped out. And what we have for you is the King of Air, or the King of Swords. And we also have the Messenger of Earth, or the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So what this feels like is that there's not a whole lot of communication between you right now. And it feels as though at some point there was communication, but it seems to have faded off a little bit. So I don't know if you all are sort of not speaking right now, or you're not communicating in the way that you used to, but there seems as though there has been sort of, there's a gap now in you all talking. So looking at the energy that you're bringing to this situation right now, Taurus, what energy is my Taurus collective bringing? We have the Messenger of Water. So this is the Page of Cups in traditional tarot. And what it feels like is that you're still pretty invested in this relationship, right? That you still care about this person. You absolutely still care. And I don't think that as of right now, you're really willing to let go of this. You still have love to give. Now, as for your person and what energy they're bringing, wow. Okay, they are bringing some kind of energy here. We have the Chariot in reverse. We have the Two of Wands in reverse. And we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So what this feels like is that this person is not necessarily cooperating with you right now. They don't seem to be moving forward. But at the same time, it doesn't necessarily feel like they have let go of this either, right? The Nine of Earth or the Nine of Pentacles, when it's upright, typically symbolizes someone who is sort of abundant and stable within themselves. In the context of a relationship card, it usually points to someone being single. So I don't think that this person really considers themselves single. You know, they're not necessarily, out pursuing anyone. I think that they've made that choice, but at the same time, there's a level of stagnancy that they're bringing to this, right? And that might be part of the frustration where they're just kind of letting things sit where they are. And it's kind of like, okay, what are we doing right now? What are you doing? So looking at the potential for this relationship between Taurus and their person. Oh, that one wanted to come out so bad. We have Patience in reverse. So what it feels like is that there's an element of things picking up rather quickly. Whereas, you have been sort of quiet and calm. This person has not been moving forward. It feels like patience is not necessarily going to be needed in the very near future for you guys. Let me pull another card to clarify and see. We have the Four of Earth. We have the Four of Pentacles. So this is typically someone who is sort of holding back. And so I think that there is going to be a point in time where there's sort of a quickening moment where it's like, yeah, you know what? We need to figure this out. Whereas I think this person is the one who's sort of holding back. It feels as though you are going to, I think, sort of force them, call them to the carpet and say, look, what is this? Because I'm not going to deal with wanting this to move and you are not doing anything to sort of push this forward, to strengthen this relationship. So I feel like the potential for this is going to be a little bit of a tug of war, a little bit of back and forth, where you're just sort of looking for answers. You're looking for that clarity. And they're kind of slow walking things a little bit. So looking at the lessons that you need to take from this situation. Wow. Okay. That was a few that came out. We have the Five of Earth or Five of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Nine of Cups, and we also have the King of Earth or the King of Pentacles in reverse. So what it feels like is that there seems to be a need for you to focus on your happiness, and not necessarily waiting, I guess, for someone else to provide that sort of stability to you. Because again, what it feels like is that you're looking for something, and this person, while I don't get the feeling that they're not also looking for the same thing, it feels like their timeline is very different from yours, where you seem to be a little bit more ready to go, I don't know that they're where you are right now. So it feels like the biggest thing for you to take away from this is focusing on your happiness with the 9 of Cups. This is you sort of, especially with the 5 of Pentacles in reverse, this is a card of feeling left out. This is a card of feeling some sort of lack. So it almost feels as though Spirit is saying that there's never a point in time where you should look to someone else for your stability, for your happiness. Because if they're not going to provide that to you, you're going to be fine by yourself. You can be happy with yourself, with another person. Whoever this is not the end all be all to you. And so Spirit is saying that maybe it's time for you to focus on you as opposed to continually pouring into this other person. So looking at anything else that's currently hidden, what is it that you should know, or what is it that you should be paying attention to right now? Ooh, okay. We have the 8 of Cups in reverse, and we also have the 5 of Wands in reverse. And so I feel like Spirit is saying that, this might be the time for you to stop putting so much energy into this, right? The 5 of Wands is usually like it's a defense card, right? It's somebody who's sort of fighting for something, who's fighting against something. And, with the 8 of Cups in reverse, usually the 8 of Cups upright is walking away. And so I feel like one of the things that you may need to know is that you don't necessarily have to completely cut this person out, but you may think about trying so hard for them when they're not reciprocating. So keep them as a friend, keep them as an acquaintance, keep them as somebody that you date or talk to from time to time, but stop expending so much energy. Because this person, I don't sense anything bad about them necessarily. It just very much feels as though they're not where you are right now when it comes to a relationship, or when it comes to the timing of being in a fully committed relationship. So let's grab one last oracle card for you and see what else we have, what final message from Spirit for my not so single Tauruses. And what we have for you is knowing without knowing. So I feel like this card is telling you to lean on your intuition, right? Even if you don't necessarily have the clarity that you're looking for right now, I do feel that you will come to this aha moment, right? With the stork. This is news. This is some sort of message. And this message might not come from an external source. This message might come from your higher self. It might come from your ancestors, angels, spirit guides, synchronicities that you see, other signs that sort of lead you towards the path that you're supposed to be on. And I feel like if you lean on your intuition, then you'll know what the right thing is for you to do. And it looks like the right thing for you to do right now, Taurus, is to sort of detach from this person. There's something that's leading you to this place because you know that in spite of what it is that you're offering to this person, they're slow walking. And it feels as though there's a bit of frustration associated with that. So Spirit is challenging you to ask yourself, what do you think you need to do right now that's best for you? Because constantly giving and not receiving doesn't feel like it's best for you. So just something to think about, my not so single Tauruses. I'm going to leave this reading there. I hope that this was helpful and I hope that it resonated. If it did, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. But in the meanwhile, stay safe, stay healthy, and I am sending you all huge hugs.